So we got David, Frizzle, and then Annette. David looks like he was born in 1950, died in 2017. His wife just passed away and is going to be buried first week of September. So the customer asked if I could just come over and clean it up so that way everything looks good for the services in September. And I said I would love to do that. So we're going to clean this up. You know, we got some flowers here. We're going to, looks like they're just kind of, oh, I see. It looks like maybe it fell apart. So we'll see if we can somewhat put those back together for them, and then we'll stick them back in the ground. But yeah, so we'll clean this up. It's really, I mean, really not that bad of shape at all. It's not under any trees or anything, so it can still get a good cleaning. We'll get it shiny and looking good for them. We'll get all the grass tore away here. It's on looks like a concrete pad here, so we'll clean the concrete pad up too and get her cleared away and ready and respectable for the services for Annette in September. But the first week of September. But I think we'll knock this baby out, have her looking good for you. I think this time I'm going to keep the camera rolling, and we're just going to go over it step by step. You guys, it might be a little bit longer video. We're gonna do a little edging here. Got my trusty dusty edger. It was pretty built up in the back. I know you can't see it, but just give you an idea. That's some of it that came out from there. So for whatever reason, you know, the way the grass grows, But so, we're already looking better. Just to get this overgrass grown out. And I mean, I believe it's important to do this, to edge this out like this, because when it rains, it kind of gives the water a chance to go into the ground. When it's overgrown like that, the water just sits there, and when it sits too high, it starts building mold and other black things here on the bottom, and then it tends to work its way up the marker. So besides that, it looks good. You know, we need it to look good, so when we come visit our loved ones, it looks respectable. And as one of my customers said to me one time, thanks for cleaning up my loved one's house. Because this is what it is. This is their house for the rest of eternity. So I think it's good. Oh, this is not concrete. This is granite. Amazing. I thought it was concrete at first sight because there was so much debris on it, but this is a granite. So we'll spray some D2 biological solution on it, and it'll look better when I'm done, but it'll look even better when about a week passes. You know, every day the sun hits it, it just cleans it a little bit more. So, but yeah, all right, so we're all cleaned up here. Get all the loose stuff off of here. Don't want any debris, any loose debris on there. So even the sides are pretty good. You know, I'm gonna move the camera over here so you can see it. See how long it lasts. This is just water here. I like to get everything good and wet before I start. You know, get that, all that black stuff, get it, let it nice and soaking in some water. Won't do any scrubbing. Just get it good and wet. And there we go. So this big container's water. This stuff is the magic juice here. This is D2 biological solution. Rather expensive, but it works really good. Probably the only thing that's, some other things have been said that are acceptable, but I think D2 is the way to go. You know, you could, some people, not myself, but some people clean it by just spraying it with D2 and then walking away. And come back and send a customer a picture in like a week or 2 weeks and go, hey, I cleaned your stone. I don't do that. I spray with D2, let it sit for a few minutes, and get right to work. And then when I get done, I finish it up with one last coat of D2. So just anything that I missed. So let's spray her down. D2 biological solution, rather expensive. Can't get it at Walmart. You can't get it at, you know, Home Depot or any kind of hardware store. You got to order it. Atlas Preservation or any place like that. You know, sometimes you can get it at monument companies. They have it because they clean markers also. But so give it a good coat, and then we're just going to let it sit. This one's pretty clean, so you really won't notice that it's doing anything, but we're just going to let that sit. It's like that, little pointy stick. Try and start on one end and go the other so I don't miss anything. But this one's not very dirty, so it doesn't take a lot. But if you were up close here, you would see there's plenty of growth inside these letters and numbers. So we're going to get it out. You know, this is a detail I think is important, because first of all, we don't want anymore growing in there. So to keep that from growing, because it's just feeding off itself, if there's some around, it's going to keep on growing. So try and get every little, I didn't do this, I got to do the outside lines here. Yeah, it's turning black there, that's the dirt and stuff coming out from the biological solution working. So that's a good sign, everybody. This is a really pretty marker. You know, don't know that this one normally would be on a list where like I really got to get it done, but it's important because family members know that they're going to be laying a net to rest here in the first week of September, so they want everything to look good when people are here. You want to get set back into its place, which makes perfect sense to me, because if my bathroom is clean but I'm expecting company, I'll probably still clean it again. So I think this is important. All right, so I think we got it. Got every little piece of growth out. A little bit here, let me get this. A little bit right there. All right. A little bit right there. Get that out. Okay. Next is the brushes. I'm gonna hit it one more time with D2 because more D2, you know, you kind of want to keep it wet as you're scrubbing it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Start with a small brush over the letters and the indentations. Oops. I'm gonna take the big brush, get this top where the growth was, get this bottom here where the growth was, and of course the sides. Wish you guys could see this green growth that was on here. Something you wouldn't notice if you were, you know, 100 feet away, just driving by it going, oh, it looks good. But when you get up on it, it just doesn't. All right, get it wet again so I can do the whole front. Oops, need a layer. And we'll give the front a good scrub. I always save the granite that it's sitting on, or concrete that it's sitting on, is last, because I mean, common sense tells you the dirt's going to go down and sit on it, so why clean it if you're just going to put more dirt on it? So, all right, this is the part that everybody likes. They like to see all the dirt come off. So we're going to give it a water spray here. When in doubt, if you think you're using too much water, use more. You really want to give it a good thorough rinse. Kind of help keep from any kind of streaks or anything over time. Yeah, that looks so much better. A little bit of growth there I missed, but I got it. A little bit of growth here too. We got her. Look at that, much better, huh? Now, all my D2 that's come from my markers went onto this granite, so I don't need to spray any D2 on it. I sprayed it once. All the excess D2 has went onto the bottom, so it's a matter of scrubbing. Again, I've said this once and I'll say it again. I don't use power washers. Actually, you know, power washers are a big no-no. Power washers are pretty much unacceptable in business. I know there are people that use them and they use them on low pressure and they've had success with it, but you know, when you're using a power washer, you really open up those pores, and what I'm doing with the D2 is this cleaning solution is going into the pores where the growth is and cleaning it. So yeah, looks really, really good. We're gonna clean it off, rinse it off with some water. I always try and, so you probably can't tell on the camera, but everything's kind of leaning that way. So, or maybe it's leaning this way. I'm gonna spray the water on so it goes its natural direction. So I don't have to fight it. But I'll have to blow it off, blow it dry, and then use a hand towel to dry it off too. Because this is sitting, actually, all of it's coming to this corner here, but there's still some excess water just kind of sitting around. So I am going to take my blower, try to blow it away here. Blower. Hopefully the battery's good. These batteries don't last very things. If you buy these on the internet, they don't. I mean, they're nice, they're handy. I have my big blower, but they're real handy, but the battery lasts pretty minimal. So that's why you'll never see me just hold it and go. I'd usually do in bursts because it saves on a battery. And you can see where this is dry and this is still wet here. So we'll give it a good, try and dry it off a little bit. You can already hear the battery going dead. And then I got a new package of towels here. I just use regular, I don't call them, they're not disposable towels, but they're just regular work towels because I'm just using it to dry. You know, I'm just using it to soak up the water. And I can get like a package of 50 of them for, I don't know, $5 or something like that. So I don't put them in the wash. I get them dirty, throw them away. That's what I do. First of all, I don't want to spend, you know, a couple hours laundering basically shop towels to get everything all muddy on the inside, because they can get pretty muddy because you're working with dirt, you know. And it's like, look how dirty that is. That's in those corners where it all sits. but I just throw them away. Probably didn't need to know that, but I'm telling you. And then I'm going to wipe off the actual marker here. Just to help get any, like there's some standing water in these indentations, just to help a little bit. It'll take a while for it to dry out, especially these parts that aren't finished. I mean, they really hold water. The shiny finished part, you know, it dries off pretty quick. There you go, all clean. This is what I do. All right, I think it looks pretty good. Let me know what you all think. Let me know if you got any questions. And by all means, get a hold of me if you have a loved one that needs a headstone cleaned or a marker.